21 of the Canon Hand Dyes Sherlock collection is this amazing green. This is called the Valley of Fear. I am actually in the green stage for all of my calendars. This gorgeous color is called Not Such a Bad Little Tree. This is from the Sweet Sparrow Advent. And then my swap with my friend Mariah of Knitted Niceties gave me this beautiful gray tone yarn with all these wonderful multicolors, but the green is the predominant one. Good morning, everybody. Happy Solstice. Good morning, Vlogmas. Happy day 21. I wish you peace and contentment and relief from your struggles. And if you can't have any of that, I wish you a bone deep acceptance of your struggles, knowing that they will end. I hope that your winter has had all the depth that you could have hoped for, and that it has been a time of stillness in a really crazy world. And I hope that the lengthening days are mirrored in your life, in that the darkest hours are over. So here's hoping that as we come out of this season, the struggles that our planet is facing will be reflected in, I don't know, that release of darkness, I guess. So we'll see what happens. We are 4 days away from Christmas and the end of Vlogmas. I've heard quite a few vloggers say this year has been really hard. I thought that last year, like 2020, I thought it would be hard because it was the first year of lockdown. But I think because it was still relatively new and we had hope that it would end and we just approached it differently, it was, the year of sourdough. And, so Vlogmas was, we were all happy to look into each other's four walls and see what happens over there, But I think that after the last couple of years of seeing so much of our own four walls, it just, I don't know, it just makes it hard as a vlogger because there is no content. We can't go anywhere. Either there's restrictions where we live, or there should be, or there's, really high case numbers. There's the variant is rampant right now. Anyway, so I hope that you have found comfort in watching Vlogmas this year, whether it was mine or somebody else's. And I hope that you've been able to get outside and take walks and get out of your four walls, because they can become your own prison if you're not careful. So, while leaving the house obviously is a risk, I think it's really important to balance your risk with your own mental health. And sometimes just getting out for a little bit, even if you don't go anywhere, even if you just take a drive or spin through a Starbucks or spin through a coffee drive-through or get a boba or treat yourself to noodles one night, or walk along whatever body of water you might have near you. Sometimes that can change everything. And I hope that you are finding those little tricks this past couple of years and that they're working for you. Today's going to be another chill day. Onesimo will be off at 2:30, so I will start to load bikes right about then, and I will meet him at the trails. I'm going to go ahead and get out for a while today. Until that happens, I'm going to work on the body of my sample. And I'm going to hang out with Her Highness over here. For those of you who are not aware, her name, Jonna, is Jeonha, which is a rough phonetic spelling for a Korean word. Her name is actually a Hangul word, and it means Her Highness or Your Highness. It's an honorific. So my neighbors, their daughter taught English in South Korea for a while. And then for those of you who don't know, when I was in the service, I was stationed in South Korea. So it's been really a nice little, I don't know, full circle fitting thing or whatever. And it's very fitting. She definitely fits it. I'm just hanging out with my coffee in my sheet mug. I got this from Tolt Yarn and Wool in Carnation, Washington. I'm not sure if they still carry them, but they did for years. I don't see why they would have stopped. For those of you who really like woolly wools and are on the West Coast, Tolt is a fantastic shop for woolly wools. It's also a really great destination yarn shop. It's very cozy. It's very unique. I know that one year for Icelandic Wool Month, the owner's husband is a woodworker, and he basically formed the front prow of a Viking ship, like with a dragon head, and it was beautiful. And they used it in the front window as part of their display for that year. So they do very unique things. They usually have a ton of samples in almost everything that they carry, so you can touch and see what you like and see things going. They carry paper patterns, and They carry gifts and goods. They carry well-known wool brands, you know, rustic wools, and then they carry some that most people don't really know much about. They do carry some superwash. I think they carry Farmer's Daughter fibers. Or they used to. I don't know if they still do. It's been a couple of years, obviously, since I've been there. But anyway, they have a really great shop and a really wonderful online presence. An online shopping ability, and their shipment is super fast. If you're on the East Coast, Woolly Thistle, hands down. Corinne is the ultimate purveyor of woolly wools, and she is absolutely wonderful. I will tag both of them down. Corinne actually, with the Woolly Thistle, has what she calls a shop cast. And most of it is like, here's what we have in the shop and here's what we're doing. But she gets a lot of heritage breed stuff, a lot of limited edition runs from Blacker and other wool providers. She does work a lot in Scotland. She is Scottish. She came over, I don't know, a little under 20 years ago, I think. And she's been here for quite a while, but you know, she brings home here, which is really cool for us. But she also works with New England wool manufacturers in order to stock them in the store too. So she's really wonderful. If you are, like I said, if you're into woolly wools, both of those shops have great products. And Corinne does have the shop cast, and that's always a lot of fun to watch. She's very charming. She's very fun. So yeah, I am not working with a woolly wool. I haven't talked about my sample like hardly at all. And that's not for any reason. Jamie is totally open about talking about my sample, like when I'm knitting it with you guys. So I am knitting the Succulent Garden. It is not out yet. I will let you know. And my main color is this beautiful tealy blue color, and this is called Franklin. And then my pink is slightly more muted than that, but it's called Embellish. Both of these are from Miss Babs. This is on her Yummy 2-ply. It is a 2-ply fingering. Come on, there we go. So it's very rounded. It honestly knits a little thinner than what I expected it would. But blocking fills it, it changes when it blocks or whatever, obviously, but it's a bit different. I don't use a lot of 2-ply, especially for sweater knitting, I guess. And yeah, this is the morning. You saw me make coffee. You saw me crack open one of my husband's jelly advent calendar jars. I don't know. I haven't looked at the footage of that yet. I don't know what the angle was like on that, so I hope it turned out okay. His advent calendar is from Bonne Maman, and they have little mini jelly jars for every day. And they have done, I feel like they have done a lot of citrus or citrus blends. There's been a lot of mango and apricot too, and that's all well and good. Lots of orange jellies and like little orange and yellow jars, you know, which is fine. That's been great. But I was telling my husband a couple of days ago, I was like, you know, I'm really surprised because we've had a blueberry and a raspberry and a strawberry, and that's kind of been it for like the things you would sort of expect to have. We had a cherry with Christmas spices a little bit ago. It was good. But most of them have been orange fruits, you know, whether they be mangoes or apricots or actual oranges or citrus. And I told him, I was like, you know, I find it funny that we haven't moved into like the stone fruits or like pears or, I don't know, my experience with homemade jelly, actually, I make strawberry, but the only homemade jelly I had probably ever had for the majority of my life was plum. My grandmother used to make a plum jelly. And has always been my favorite, you know. So I was kind of surprised that we weren't hitting, you know, the pear and the plum and stuff like that, like those types of fruits. Like, I don't know, there's no apple butter. We've gotten one, you're supposed to have gotten specialty honeys. We've gotten one honey. There was a fig jam, which was great. But anyway, yeah, so the one that you saw me use today was the plum one. He pulled it out last night and just handed it over. He's like, here you go first. So that was really sweet. And it was really good. It's plum, pear, and star anise, and it was very, very good. So yeah, I had that for breakfast. I had a piece of toast with it. I have my coffee. I have not my cat. I have knitting, and I'm watching Tommy of Moonstone Makes on Vlogmas. So I think I'm gonna get back to my morning, and yeah, like I said, I'm hoping to be able to take some footage on the trails today. We'll see what happens. It's impossible. I can't film while we're on it. So my husband has. You don't care, but I'm telling you anyway. My husband has a mount for his bike, a bike company called Quad Lock, and they have it's a mount and it has like a little square built into it or whatever. Then his phone case matches and it has a recess of that same square. So you place it on and you twist it and it like my brother-in-law we gave him one for his birthday. He took it out the first ride, he over the handlebars and like the bike flipped like down the hill and the quad lock was fine and the phone was fine. Hyro's shoulder was a little messed up for a couple of days, but the phone was fine. So, anyway, so they're really heavy duty, you know, but my husband, if he wants to film, like all he has to do is just twist his phone off, you know, and then like there it is, it's available. Well, the one that I have, is one that nobody wanted to use anymore. And for some reason it got put on my bike. Like I don't even like to take my phone. I usually don't even take it because what am I going to do with it? Right. But it's like a clamp, but then it has this rubber netting that you can hook onto the corners of your phone or whatever. So getting that out so that I can film is practically impossible. Plus that whole, like, I can't film while I'm riding. I'm not that good. You know, a lot of mountain bikers, when they film, they either have the GoPro on their helmet or they wear a harness with the GoPro on their chest or whatever, just depending on what viewpoint they want you to have. So anyway, like I said, we don't get a lot of footage, but I will see what I can do, see if I can make an effort to go first and stop at the bottom so I can film the boys. Yeah, but anyway, I guess I will catch up with you soon. So I know that cats turning themselves inside out is totally normal. We've lived here for a little over 3 years, and she's had full run of my house for a little over a year and a half now, ever since Boomer passed away. And I think that this is the first time that she's flipped herself inside out here. I was just going through the house, going through all my plants, and trying to find out what is dying and what is going dormant and what is getting ready to be replanted. And can I tell you that my houseplants, like now that it's colder and there's less light, are putting out new leaves like crazy. Like crazy. I have a calathea here. I can't remember what one it's called. I believe this is the Cathedral Windows one. I think so. But look, this is a new leaf. This one's new. This one hasn't even opened yet. Basically everything that's kind of this purplish mauve tone, all of these are brand new. They're gorgeous. There are so many of them. And they're soft. They're still unfurling. These 1, 2, this one's still soft. You can see how he's purple on the back still. So anyway, I was going through and I guess kind of trying to figure out what to do with it. As you can tell, I have a really beefy plant. It's a very, very big plant. Come on, focus. And it's beautiful. So I need to do some research to figure out what I'm supposed to do with it. Like I don't know if it reaches a certain point and then you're supposed to break it apart and transplant it. If it reaches a point where you're just supposed to let it go, like when does it get too big for the pot? So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm just taking a few minutes to do that before I have to go load up bikes. This is a trailing plant. I need to add some more soil to it. But I have two plants in here actually. I have this little guy. And he is part of this guy. I don't know the names of any of these plants. They were gifts. I'm actually not sure what the heck they are. And then I have this one. And I have another one of these. I know the name of that plant. I'm blanking on it right now. Philodendron. And then I have a couple of those over here. And as you can tell, this guy, you guys, this guy was huge. He had leaves that were at least 2 feet tall. There were flowers. And then September hit and everything died off. Or, kind of scaled back. And now these are all new leaves again. Like, it's December. So it went dormant for like 30 days and then was like, oh no, wait, the weather's great. I don't know what's going on. My plants are weird. And then I have this little baby. I don't know the name of this one. I believe this is also philodendron, but I could be completely freaking wrong. A friend of mine gave me this, and when she gave it to me, it was basically this big leaf and like something like this little tiny tuber thing. And this is the first time it's really grown. All of these multicolored ones, these are all brand new. This is the only leaf, like I said, that it had. And then these 2 leaves right here, but they were the size of these when I first got it. It needs a little extra soil too. I have my Christmas cactus, and it's just never done well. I've gotten 1 flower out of it the whole time I've had it. I've had it for about 3 years. This is the first time it's just really looked like death. So if any of you have any plant advice or know much about, especially this guy, I feel like he's the one struggling the most, and I feel really bad. But I really don't know what to do with him. I've tried changing where he lives. So he doesn't like direct light, I guess. I've tried changing soils. I've tried, like I said, I've had him a few years, so I haven't tried all of these in quick succession. I don't want to scar it. And then in my room, I have let me see if I can do this. There we go. I have a Monstera. I don't know what kind it is. It is not one of the giant ones. It's one of the medium-sized ones. And he's doing really well. This is the brand new leaf. You can tell it's all, this is our first day that he's fully flattened. He's got a couple of really lovely striations right here. I have no leaves that have striations on both sides, just the one. And then I have quite a few that don't have any striations, so I have at least 3 with none. And then I also have this guy. This is called a jungle. I don't know what he's called. I can't remember. But he's awesome. So he's basically these 4 or 5. He's basically these 5 stalks, kind of like a bamboo, basically. Which means that he's super cool. He grows really tall, but it's really hard to keep him supported. I've been having a lot of trouble with that. We don't move him. Like, I reach past him to open the blinds, and that's the extent of the interference that he has with any of us. But I don't move him because I'm afraid he's gonna unsettle and fall over. I know there are probably really ingenious stabilization techniques for plants like that, but I don't know any of them because I'm an accidental houseplant owner, and basically the less amount of help that you need as a houseplant, it's probably the best the better you're gonna do in my house. Let's be real. So, anyway, that's my little plant tour. My tree is doing well. It's been watered and fed, and he's holding on really good. I'm really excited about moving north because I'll be able to have flowering, like petally flowers, like really nice flowers. And hopefully I should be able to have a garden of things that we will actually use and eat. In Texas, tomatoes are okay. Basically any kind of chili is really good here, but we're not really big spicy fans, so I don't really need to. I would be growing them for the squirrels, basically, and the birds, which I guess I could have done, you know, but we live in a neighborhood with an HOA, and my neighborhood is very manicured, so there's a lot of like spraying for bugs and stuff like that, which isn't really great for any kind of the local wildlife, I guess. Sorry, it's really bright. Like any kind of the local wildlife. We have a resident hawk in our neighborhood, and she's the first bird of prey. She's the first large bird I've seen. I think the largest bird that we normally get out here might be a starling, like a mockingbird maybe. So they're about a little under blue jay sizes. They're not very big. We've had a couple of jays and a cardinal or two, but they never stay. There's just, yeah, you know, people have cats, and I don't know. It's hard. The whole allow the wildlife to live with you concept does not exist where I'm from. So I'm excited to see what happens when we move. It is a little bit, it's about 2 o'clock. Onesimus will be off in a half hour, and I need to get ready to leave, change, load the bikes, stop at the gas station to get Gatorade, and get to the trails by the time that he gets there, which should take him about, he should be there about 3:15. So I suppose I should probably get moving. Spent 20 minutes convincing their husband that she was a grown adult and he didn't need to put gas in the truck for her because she could do it before she left, and then forgot that she needed gas.